G'day folks, it's Cortezerino, and welcome to my new storage room. And I've spared no expense. And I've opted for item frames to mark what's in each chest. It makes it a tiny bit annoying just to dodge the item frame to get around the side and open it, but I had thought about using signs because we've got all the different coloured signs now. And you can do different coloured writing on them as well. So I thought if I colour-coded it in a smart way, I'd be able to tell at a glance where everything was. But I threw a few signs up and it just didn't look that good. So I've gone for this one. And yeah, it is working pretty good. But what I've done, the way I've set this up. So I've got my input and output chest for the item sorter in the same place that Nembon has his, so that's the input there, and everything that can't find a spot ends up down here. But they don't go in the same direction that his does. His one, the input chest, goes off in that direction, but mine shoots off over there. And the same thing here with my shulker box unloader. Everything just joins in with that hopper chain. And that hopper chain comes scooting along here into a dropper item elevator, and it goes up the top on this side over here. And originally when I was designing this item sorter, I had a water stream running along the edges of all the hoppers in our item sorters here, so the items could just scoot along the edge, get accepted, and I could save on a few hoppers. But what I found is I had to slow down the speed at which the items were coming up here, just so they wouldn't group together and they could all get accepted by our item sorters, and I didn't want to do that because it's a pretty big system. I wanted them going through as quickly as possible, and it's not a very long hallway here, so I found it much easier just to send the items straight into a hopper chain, and we're using that. And I was a bit worried, guys, because we're in an area where I'm going to be doing a lot of building, and there are so many hoppers in this design. I was worried about the lag that this thing would cause just by having all those hoppers. But yeah, I don't think hoppers are as laggy as they used to be. I'm not really getting any problems from it. It is pretty good. And speaking of lag, I was a little bit worried about the multi-item per chest item sorter when they're running. They can be notoriously laggy. I used to have the Tango Tech one, and it was brilliant in 1.12. There was no noticeable lag at all. And then 1.13 rolled around and all of a sudden there was lag again. So I don't know what happened there. So I was worried about this one, and I can safely say it is not too bad. I can have this running and still play pretty easily, and the lag is okay, but still bad enough that I wouldn't want to be recording. So this is the system I've rigged up just to help me with that. So once everything's gone through the the two walls of my item sorter before it enters this. This is the last thing to run to sort items. All the items will stack up in a bunch of double chests I've got here. So I've got a few items there ready to go. And then I've got a little light coming on up there. So let's get up a bit. I'll show you the system. So I've got a torch here powering this block, which is locking the hopper underneath this chest. So none of the items can escape. And then I've got a comparator reading off the chest, just powering this light up here saying, hey, you've got goodies ready to be sorted. And then just inside, I've got a note block I can whack. That'll send a signal down these observer blocks and into this torch. And once it unlocks for a second, you're going to get items in the hopper under the chest as they all drain out. So this comparator will light up and keep that torch turned off until all the items are out. And then it will relock that hopper. So I won't do it now because I am recording, but see, I can see that light there, so I know I've got items ready to go. So I can just come along here, give a right click on that note block, and this thing will start up. And when it's running, this light will turn on too. But we are not done here, guys. Even though I've got a fair bit of storage here, it's still not really enough. See, I've put a few barrels in the floor here just for non-stackable items, but that's not going to last very long. So I need to extend a little bit out this way, and what I'm going to do is not try and design a beautiful room adjoining my storage room yet. I'm just going to dig a big hole, start putting things down, and just get a feel for where I want stuff to go, and that will give me some ideas for what I want to design. But that is about all I've got to report at the moment, guys. This has taken me 2 days. It took me a full day to build the item sorter. It wasn't too bad, but yes, there's a lot of hoppers. All my wood went into this thing. So every hopper, that's a chest I have to make. So I completely ran out of wood making this thing. Had to make a lot of trips out to the tree farm to restock. But yeah, a day to build this, and then another day to figure out where I was putting everything. And I did it in sort of a weird way. I just got every item I owned in the game, and I brought it in here, and I dunked it in chests just to get an idea of how much of everything I had. And then I started separating them into all the different categories. So, I don't know, I'm always interested in the way people set up their item sorters, so this is how I've done mine, guys. So I've got a lot of terracotta over here. A lot of mob drops. Like I have lots of stuff like string. Bones for the bulk storage. I've got to bring more over here. There's my redstone. There's my coal. A lot of nether stuff I just sort of grouped together so I can find it all really quickly. Got all my woods over here. And what else is it? Oh, you're probably thinking, what is he doing with all these flowers? Well, I have a huge flower farm, so I needed to put all my flowers up here. I couldn't put them in the multi-item per chest part of it. They all needed their own separate spot. But yes, guys, that is what I've done. So I'm about to lose my voice, I think. So what I'm going to do is just potter around here for another day or two. We've got a few more things to do. I've got to dig out this room. And I also need to make a vault because I've got something taking up room in my ender chest. It's the safest place for it. But I'm even cautious about putting this down in case a creeper appears. It is too important. Okay, we'll do it. In this shulker box, I have god armor. All the god armor that you can't make anymore. And I need to keep super safe, and the safest place for it is in the ender chest. But it's taking up a spot in my ender chest, which I don't like, so we also need to build a vault for this thing. And I think I'm going to build it surrounded by obsidian. It's going to be super safe, and I might put it out through that wall there. I'm not quite sure yet. But yes, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to make a cut, guys, and we will see what I've come up with. Well, I did lose my voice in the end. We got a little bit sick and we're not fully recovered, but that meant I have skipped ahead a little bit. Oh, by the way, how do you like my creeper-proof door? This is the prettiest door I've ever built, I think. So gorgeous. I was thinking maybe someone's wondering, why have you shaped your storage like this in this little arc here? Has it got something to do with the redstone out the back? No, it's nothing to do with the redstone. I just thought it looked cool. It does look very cool. And I have made one addition in here. And it's a little bit hard to reach, but I've put another chest way back there behind these ones. That's just because if like say the stone here, it's all full up and I want to dump a whole lot of stone into my item sorter, well, I could put it in the entry chest here and then it'll go up the elevator and eventually find its way into the bulk storage. But I wanted an easier way to do it, so I can just put it in there and then that will filter down to the storage below. And I've fixed up the storage below actually. So we've got a little drop chute here and we land on a hay bale so we don't take any damage. And this is looking much nicer. Still haven't done the vault because I'm trying to think up what kind of door I want for my vault. Something where a creeper can't follow me in. Maybe another cat. I don't know. But yes, that chest just leads straight down to these so I can put things directly into the bulk storage. And then here's the way back up. So we've got a little water elevator here with some soul sand. And I'm holding the water back with a trapdoor and a fence gate. But that's nice and easy. And we just pop up here. So this room, it's very white. I guess this is the theme I'm going for. I use so much iron and quartz in this room that I sort of just had to continue that theme. And I'm really happy with the roof, but I think I may have overdone the floor. It might be a little bit too detailed. And I've sort of decided not to have anything in this room. I just want a nice place where I can come through my portal. And I've got a little bit of a crossroads here so I can put some maybe more flower farms over there. I need something for the 2 tall flowers and for the berry bushes so I can get lots more of them. And I don't know what I'll put out there. I don't want to make a huge base here. I'm already worried about the lag from all the hoppers. But we do need somewhere where I can just come and get all the materials I need for my builds and then shoot off again. But yes, I'm not quite sure about this floor. Let me know what you think. But I also wanted to try out this. I designed it to have... Where was I going to have it? I was going to have it here. I designed it to have water in the floor, so I'm just going to fill this in and see if I like that any better. Well, it has the added benefit that I've got water sources whenever I need it, but I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think I prefer it without the water, actually. It was pretty busy when it was just plain quartz, and now it's looking a bit too much. I don't know, maybe you like it. Tell me what you think. But there is something else I did want to put in this room, and that is a nice little AFK spot for when I'm running the item sorter and I have to hang out in the area. I want to be nice and safe in here, so rather than just make a little hole for me to hide in, I decided to make this whole room as my safe AFK area. And what we've done is we put a great big 3x5 door in here. That's a door. And we've got the open button right here. So how on earth do you open a 3x5 door? Well, the easy way to do it is just like this. Take it out to the sides. That is nice and simple. The redstone's not so simple, but that's definitely the best way to do it. So that is what I've done. Surely. It's so ridiculous. It's crazy, but I love it. Completely impractical, but it is super cool. So we're just drawing the blocks up and down. Love it. Absolutely love it. The only problem is the redstone gets a little bit close to the surface. And all we need is one creeper and it's all blown away. And speaking of the surface, things have changed a little bit around here. So just through that wall is my big item sorter. And then you can see the edges of that new room I've put in. But we've done a massive cover up here. I don't know if you remember what it used to look like. Maybe I can bring that up in one of my world backups. Alrighty, so we're flying around in creative in a world backup from about a month ago. And just over here, so if I sit here, this is pretty much above where I've built the item sorter. And I built it here because we had this great big ravine running down the middle of the hill, and I wouldn't have to dig all that out, and I just figured I would do a little cover up. And oh, how things have changed. And I was pretty lucky, actually. I've never built a mountain before, and this was my first try, and I've pretty much got the shape pretty perfect, I think. So right there, just under one block below those stone blocks right there is my redstone. So one creeper explosion there, and my door won't work anymore. But you can see where I've done all the extra bits because I've used stone, and I've left a tiny bit of a gap because I mean to put a layer of dirt over the top to blend it in with all that other dirt. But I think we've done a pretty good job. And I haven't added the dirt yet because I want to keep going, because this bit was so successful. I think we can continue this mountain up and up just over there. So that is definitely in the plans. But at the moment, I don't have a proper entrance to my base. I've just got it hidden right here underneath the snow. I've got some snow on top of some scaffolding. So that is my super duper fancy way in and out. I want to build a building here as the entrance to my base. And I was thinking about a castle, but every time I look at Austrian style castles, they're never really in an area like this on the side of a mountain. They all tend to be on top of a little mountain. So we'll save the castle for out there somewhere, and we will think up something else for in here. Maybe a monastery. Not quite sure yet. But yes, guys, this is my base as it stands. Not much here, just the item sorter. So we're going to leave it here for today, guys, to give poor Cortez a little bit of time to recover from his illness and let his voice recover. You know, I get so many comments about my voice. Some people love it. Some people are begging me to cough for some reason. One dude said, "Why do you sound like a 50-year-old man?" Maybe because I'm a 40-year-old man, perhaps? I don't know, guys. Some people reckon I sound like Jack Sparrow. Maybe I should try and put that on. We might get some more viewers that way. I don't know. But we are definitely going to leave it here, guys. I am rambling. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Cheers. I'm Cortezerino. I will see you later.